What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I will be reviewing Wrestlemania 37. So, yeah, for those that don't know, I'm a big wrestling fan. Love everything about wrestling. I watch mainly, of course, WWE. Started watching AEW when it started airing on TV. But yeah, like I'm pretty sure everybody knows that by now. I love wrestling. Reacted to like wrestling videos. A fan of the one wrestling channel, Wrestlemania and What Culture Wrestling. Yeah, I follow a lot of like wrestling things, and so today's episode, however, I wanted to review WrestleMania 37 because this is gonna be a WrestleMania to remember for many reasons. And I made a tweet out saying everybody and nobody had their WrestleMania moments. Pretty much saying like everybody else besides the people, everybody else pretty much had their moments. They got their debuts and all that other stuff. But the ones that we wanted didn't. So that's what I overall, if you've seen that tweet, that's what I overall meant by that tweet. Like everybody got one, but the ones we didn't get one. So so yeah, let's go ahead and talk on pretty much. So I'm on Wikipedia right now, and I'll just read off a match and then kind of just give my thoughts on it and stuff. So starting off, and it was like a 2-night event for those that don't know. So starting off with the first match, Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. I thought that was a good match. I thought it was. I thought it was crazy how it ended because I was like, fam, Drew really let MVP, or if that's what like they wrote, but I'm like, I just don't think like I just didn't think that something like that would be in his character to get easily distracted by MVP. So that's why I'm like, I don't understand that. Like that don't make no sense to me. I'm sorry, but anyways, but yeah, I guess if that's how it's gonna end, then that's how it's gonna end. If it would have just like exclude the fact that MVP distracted him and Bobby Lashley just was strategic about winning the match, that would have been okay. But having it where it's like, oh, he got distracted and that's how he ended up losing, I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm sorry, but anyways, and then there was this tag team turmoil women's match that was going on, and overall, like the two women that won was Natalia and Tamina. I'm gonna talk on Tamina. I'm gonna talk on that. I'm gonna talk on that because I need to say I gotta get some things off of my chest about Tamina in a good way. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I thought that was cool. I didn't even realize that's what they were doing. I thought when they said tag team turmoil match, I thought it was going to be like all of them, like, but that's a tag team tornado match when they're all coming. So pretty much, if you don't know what a tag team turmoil match is, it's like, so two tag teams are going up against each other. Whoever wins, then they go up against another tag team, they come out. So it's kind of like a modified like Rumble in a way, but it's, ain't nobody going over no ropes. It's just a pinfall submission win and stuff. So anyways, and then Cesaro, he finally got his moment at WrestleMania. I didn't even realize, bro didn't even really have like no WrestleMania moments. I'm like, dang, that's messed up. But then when you go back and think about it, you're all like, dang, I really don't remember him having no WrestleMania moments. So, yeah, I'm like, I think that is like good though that he did get his WrestleMania moment. And I'm trying to think, like, him and Seth Rollins, they must be good friends. Because I'm like, you hear a lot of times where, like, wrestlers be tripping over the fact that they don't want to, like, push another wrestler over. So hopefully this is something good for Cesaro. Like, he gets something out of this. Because if not, then I'm like, fam, who's the writing staff in WWE? Because I would like to talk to y'all about some things. But anyways, yeah, hopefully something good happens out of it. Like, he gets I don't know, intercontinental or United States Championship. If better than that, a WWE championship or in universe. Well, he ain't even on SmackDown. So anyways, but just overall, like he gets some sort of a title match. All right. So anyways, next match. And this, I have to say, this was probably my favorite debut out of the whole situation of what was going on. Okay, that, and then I'm going to be talking on somebody else. But AJ Styles and Omos versus The New Day. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, for those that don't know the names. But anyways, Omos. Oh my God, man. That dude, I like that guy. I kind of got like that Vince McMahon syndrome where it's like them big wrestlers where they if they can do some damage, if they display like overall their strength and stuff, I'm like, hey yo, like I like that. That's cool. That's cool. I like how they debuted Omos. Like I mean they kind of somewhat debuted him week prior, just overall like during what was it, Monday Night Raw, so they overall kind of debuted what he was capable of. And yeah, I was all like, hey yo, he killed it. He killed it. So I'm like, hey, when that time does come where either AJ Styles or Omos where they decide to disband the tag team, yeah, they better give that man like a championship push, like WWE Universal type, because I'm like I believe that he got it in him. So, anyways, but yeah, like the New Day, I'm like sorry that y'all lost, but to have all right, so yeah, Bobby Lashley won, Natalya and Tamina won that tag team turmoil, Cesaro won, and then okay, so I'm like I was just making sure I let you guys know who won and stuff. But yeah, AJ Styles and Omos, they won. Sorry, New Day, but yeah, Omos he did his thing. Like I like New Day, but Omos, like I'm like nah, he cool. But anyways, next match, which was a crazy ending. Especially with what was going on, because there was like a big like storm going on in Florida where they were wrestling at, and it was like rain and water all over the place. So I'm like, how did they manage to pull that Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon ending? But anyways, so yeah, I did like oh man, Braun Strowman versus Omos, that'd be a good match. That's like one of them, like that's like a school fight where it's like you meet up somewhere to go, like you make sure you get front tickets, front row seats to watch that fight, because I think that'd be a good fight. But anyways, no, so Braun Strowman. So they tried to dog dude like in the beginning of the match. I'm like, hey yo, don't do mans like that. I kind of had a feeling some shady stuff was gonna happen. I'm like, nah, you ain't gonna put that man in no cage. And it's like, with Shane McMahon, and it's like Braun Strowman. It's like I think he's like 20 years younger than Shane McMahon. He's 37. So he's like almost he's like, yeah, Shane McMahon is like, and he's 51. He's like a little bit older and stuff, but I'm like, yeah, but I mean, Shane McMahon can move. That's one thing that I have to say I like about Shane McMahon is man can move. It's like you don't really see too many people his age still wrestling and things. But nah, man, and then taking the bumps that he's taken too, like that's why how they ended it off with him getting thrown off at the top of that cage, I'm like, hey yo, that's some wild stuff. That is some extremely wild stuff. Like, dang, Shane McMahon can still do. Shane McMahon ain't human. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Mr. McMahon did something to him. He's not human. I'm saying, like, he doesn't even really look like he's 51. Man, look like he can be in his 40s tops. But the way that he moves, he's doing wilder things than some of the 20 and 30-year-olds in wrestling. I'm like, that was wild. I thought Braun Strowman was for certain gonna like jump with him or something, but I was like, nah, that man too big. That would be too much. That ring would actually, I feel like, would collapse under all that pressure and stuff. So, anyways, but I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, Shane McMahon. It's like I feel like that. Hearing what you just heard, Shane McMahon falling off of the top of the steel cage, because that's what the match that they were doing. Yeah, he lost that. It's like there wasn't no way possible he was gonna win that. If he had won that match, I'd been like, yeah, that's man ain't human. He got Kawhi Leonard's blood going through him. So then the next match, and I was pretty impressed by Bad Bunny and what he did, but Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus John Morrison and The Miz. Overall, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest won. But Bad Bunny's performance, bruh, I ain't never seen a celebrity wrestle like that before. Like, that man, he killed it. Like, Wikipedia say he's also a professional wrestler. Wow, they actually put that there. Wow, that is crazy. There's and professional wrestler. Yeah, after his performance yesterday, that man can go ahead and get a contract with WWE and wrestle for some championships. That man can wrestle. I was surprised by that. That's crazy. Yeah, but Bad Bunny, some of the things he was doing, like he was taking in some hits too. Like, dang, I'm like, that's all right. I mean, hey, do what you want to do, WWE. I ain't gonna judge, but nah, Bad Bunny did his thing. I have to say, probably out of all the performances, because I mean, everybody else is wrestlers, and I've seen them wrestle except Omos. It was like my first time, like really seeing it. But both of them debuts would probably be my favorite debuts. Cause I was like, man, like I mean, Omos and his size, and then Bad Bunny and what he was capable of. Like you don't see celebrity. That's when a person says that they've been a fan of wrestling for a long time, believe them. Like that man, you could tell he was performing them moves when he was a kid and stuff. So except that last move, I'm like, nah, he had to practice on that because that last move he hit on John Morrison, I was like, that's formerly known as Johnny Nitro. I like to refer to him from time because I'm like, I still remember them days. Don't act like them days didn't exist. But anyways, but yeah, shout out to Bad Bunny. That was I might have to listen to some of his music just because I'm like, cause I ain't really listened to his music before, but I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna have to listen to some of his music now because I'm like he has earned my respect. I know my respect can be very little compared to wrestlers that's probably been messaging him going crazy saying, "Man, you killed it." But yeah, like he has earned my respect. Like from now on, I'm like anytime I hear that man's name, regardless of what he's doing, I'm like he's gonna kill it. Whether it's a movie, a TV show. I mean, he killed it in wrestling, and I feel like if you could kill it in wrestling, yeah, you can kill it just about anywhere. So shout out to Bad Bunny. And then the main event of night one, Bianca Belair. I always like Belair or something. My fault. But Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. That was a pretty good match. That was a pretty good match. That was crazy though when I didn't realize like that's what she be doing to people with her ponytail. Bianca Belair when she be whipping people because she left a big giant welt on Sasha Banks, and I was like, dang, I'm like, hey yo, I'm like, don't do that too many times, like like okay, one time, but like put it in an area where it's like it ain't gonna hurt as much, like she got her right on the side where it's like tender and stuff, and I'm like, fam, you need to chill on that. That ain't even normal, like. I'm saying it to me. I'm like, hey, yo, just don't do that to me no more. Because you do that one too many times. I'm going to start thinking of scenes from Django. I'm going to get upset and I'm going to just go crazy. So I'm like, so please don't. I'm like, no more of that. But anyways, other than that, though, I am happy that she won. I was like, that was something where I was like, man, that's good. That was like, night one of WrestleMania, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. But they made sure that night two of WrestleMania, theirs was like, hey, since y'all enjoyed night one, y'all ain't gonna really enjoy night two. So let's talk on night two. I'm gonna try to be quick about it because Fear the Walking Dead is getting ready to come on in 5 minutes. So where am I at on time? Okay, I got 2 more minutes, so I could do this. So Randy Orton versus The Fiend, aka Braun Strowman. I thought the match was okay. I actually fell asleep on that match, so I was, wasn't conscious. But that match didn't really seem like all that appealing. And plus they showed we're not a preview, but like a replay of like the main stuff that happened. So I feel like okay, I didn't really miss nothing. But other than that, it was like, and then what was the whole thing with Alexa Bliss? Like, was that supposed to be what do they call her? Like Mother Teresa, whatever the freaking Braun Strowman, not Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, whatever he be like obeying or whoever that person is. But I thought that was weird what they were doing with Alexa Bliss. I'm trying to think. Did I say Braun Strowman when I said The Fiend the first time? I didn't mean to say Braun Strowman. I meant to say Bray Wyatt. If I said Braun Strowman, correction, Bray Wyatt. But it was all right, overall I just think that it should have been a little bit more to it and things. I just think that they need to have it where Bray Wyatt, he goes up against somebody they're gonna give him a challenge and things. I feel like every time they pin him up against somebody, it's not really a challenge. But then the next, now this is where I'm beefing. So the next match, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Natalya and Tamina. Natalya and Randy Orton won the fight the first against Bray Wyatt, and then Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler they won. And I'm beefing about that because I'm like, yo, I really wanted Tamina to win. Like, when everybody was cheering Tamina, I'm like, oh, she's going to win. She's hands down going to win this. And when they lost, I was like, are you serious? Like, this girl's been wrestling for how long now, and y'all still haven't given her no, like, I'm gonna make a video talking on that because I'm like, I'm beefing about that. I don't like the fact that they have her wrestle this dope match and then they won that tag team turmoil match the first night, then lose. I'm like, no, y'all gonna have to do something different about that because I'm like, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that at all. So, and then Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I actually did like the fact that they both had their WrestleMania moment, or they concluded their, like, their rivalry. Well, it probably ain't concluded, but overall, like, I did like the fact that both of them together got to have a WrestleMania moment because those guys been beefing for the longest. So I'm like, it's cool to see that. I like that. I like that. But Kevin Owens hitting Logan Paul with that stunner, I thought that was funny. I'd be defending my YouTubers, but when it's wrestling, nah. I'm like, you guys is on your own. Y'all signed up for that. So if you get hit with a stunner, all on you. Can't do anything about that. And then Sheamus versus Matt Riddle, now going by Riddle. I wasn't really beefing over the finish of that match. Sheamus winning. Oh, yeah, Kevin Owens won against Sami Zayn. But I wasn't really beefing with Sheamus winning against Riddle. But I was beefing with Apollo Crews winning against Big E. Because I'm like, fam, Big E hasn't really had like a WrestleMania moment. So I'm like, y'all could have did that. But I guess Apollo Crews got to have his moment too. That's what I meant by everybody and nobody had their moments at WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley, I like the fact that she won because I was like, she's new to the game and stuff, so I don't think she's, she did go up against, it was the pandemic WrestleMania, but she did go up against Charlotte Flair last year, so I was like, I thought that was cool. And then Roman Reigns winning against Edge and Daniel Bryan. Part of me was like, okay, I want Edge to win. If Daniel Bryan would have won, I'm like, okay, Roman Reigns winning, I'm like, fam, really? Like, y'all could have let Edge win. I'm like, I don't know why y'all be beefing, but I'm like, I guess Edge might be thinking, like, okay, I just want, do my one little final, like, road through WWE and then focus on other stuff. But other than that, WrestleMania was good. I liked it. I just wish that some matches would have changed, especially that Tamina match. That was probably the one match I would have wanted to change. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, viewing this on YouTube. Like, subscribe, podcast, follow, subscribe, subscribe to one of my 31 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at TMossBoss. Till next time, talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.